Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, osia dem yopo.
You are once again welcome to PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for more updates, like and also share to other members to watch as well. You can equally share to your friends on WhatsApp to also have a look or to hear what is happening around the globe. Thank you. Join me listening to what we have for you today, and it's all about punching holes in Bawumia's fake promises and how deceitful the NPP are. Thank you.
For the video, I was talking about when the snip boss actually, also gave us the statistics about the jobs created. I think we have that video. That's a former snip boss. So let's have that in it.
We had only had about 14,000 people enrolled on the scheme as self-employed persons. Today we have about 71,000 people enrolled on the SNIT scheme as self-employed persons.
A few moments later.
SNIT launched a self-employed enrollment drive, SEED, an initiative which seeks to improve coverage and increase the contributor base of the SNIT scheme. Since the launch of the SNIT initiative, some 600,000 self-employed persons have been enrolled onto the program and now have some form of social security cover. Effective 1st January 2024, all pensioners on the SNIT pension payroll as of 31st December 2023 have had their monthly pensions increased by 15%.
We had only had about 14,000 people enrolled on the SNIT the scheme as self-employed persons. Today we have about 71,000 people enrolled on the SNIT scheme as self-employed persons.
All right, so that is the data that was given to us by the SNIT boss then at the time. Obviously contradicting with almost all the data that was given us by the sector ministers and the deputy ministers and the VIP and others.
Was talking about privately employed people that's signed on to their informal worker system. So that would obviously be different from jobs created through the government sector and through other private entities, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Are you asking me?
No, I mean from what I watched.
Okay.
From what I watched, what he was talking about was the informal sector, those who sign up onto SNIT as private people. So obviously that number will be smaller. You see, when this issue of figures and things, it doesn't, and it's not even the first time it has happened. In, was it 2015 or somewhere there, Honorable Okujeto came out and said they had created 1.6 million jobs. Minister of Employment said he didn't know where these jobs were. I'm not going to sit here and postulate that at that point any of them was lying.
And we raised the contradictions at the time.
Yeah. So it's probably different data that they are looking at. From just this video, what I got was that the SNIT director?
The SNIT boss
at the time. What he was talking about was the informal, those who are the informal sector that are signed up to SNIT. So obviously that number will be smaller than how many, the formal sector. So if you add it together, then we can make that point. And I don't think at this point the whole conversation is solely focused on the jobs. On the jobs that have been created. It is about the plans. What the people of Ghana want to hear are the plans we have to create more jobs, and about how these plans are sound and are doable.
Yeah, not just that. We also want to know how honest you're being with the people.
And I've given
just
you a
as
list.
You make reference to them in the past.
Yes.
I want to know what they want to
that's
do
why right
in the
now,
future.
what is beautiful
it's the same way we also want to give you we want you to give us the account because you are in government now. So you have to account to us.
So I'm going to send you this jobs data as of 2024 because this is a breakdown and you can definitely check from these agencies to see what is there.
Right.
If you do it that way, it's much simpler.
All right. Gabby, let me engage you. I'm sorry I had to engage you longer.
No problem at all. Annie, this current NPP administration has proven itself to be the most deceitful government this country has ever experienced in the Fourth Republic, and in fact, in the history of this country. This is a government that has been very inconsistent. Even the data that she's presenting, she told you how many million jobs? 2 point what?
2.6.
And they make reference to 100,000 being NAPCO.
Yes.
Okay, so if you were to go down into the details of NAPCO, you know that 33,000 people were employed. Is that not so?
From the 100,000?
Yes, 67,000 are still waiting to be paid. They are the ones who have formed the NAPCO association and are still waiting to be paid because the program was folded up. There was no exit strategy for them, no compensation to them, and they have been left hanging. It's been factored into their 2.6 million jobs. Annie, when you go to the YEA program...
So just with NAPCO, that's the discrepancy.
I'm giving you details.
But we spoke about that.
You mentioned 100,000. You didn't talk about the 67,000 that have been left unemployed. It's factored into your 2.6 million.
They didn't get their money or they were left unemployed.
But they are still unemployed. They are unemployed. Who's going to pay them for no work done? After how many years? After 3 years. Who's going to pay? You have 2 months out of office. You owe them almost 2 billion so far. In actual fact, you are paying them the equivalent of almost $1 billion a month. So do the calculations and see if you're not going to collapse the economy worse than you already have if you were to go on that tangent. But let's continue. You see, the deception with this NPP administration is that they tell you one thing, but in reality, that is not the case. This government has been able to cook a certain narrative to fool all of us. These items she's listed here, all the things Bawumia was ranting and waxing lyrical yesterday over. Over 6 of those initiatives are plagiarized John Mahama initiatives. And I can give you the briefings of when Mahama said those things he was going to do and when the NPP adopted those policies. And it is word for word. They didn't even edit. Here, I'll give you a copy of this, my document. Within the NDC job initiative programs, this is Central Region's manifesto. This is made, that's your copy. You can keep it and follow the promises that the NDC has made to the good people of the Central Region. This is the original manifesto. Okay. This one's baby is this, because this one is tailored specifically to Central Region. And we have 215 policies in there for us. In the area of job creation, the NDC is proposing the famous one being the 24-hour economy, which we've spoken extensively about. We have the Women's Development Bank, which is also going to provide a seed capital of $20 million to Ghanaian women, females, irrespective of age, to be able to access funding. If you've ever attempted taking a loan in Ghana as a business person, when you're a female, they were encumbered with a lot of questions and documentation. You need the approval of your spouse because most of the time, some of these assets, family assets, are in the names, joint names of a husband and a wife. And you need the approval of your spouse to be able to even access funding. This new initiative by the NDC takes all those encumbrances out of the way and makes it a personal relationship, a personal venture between the women of Ghana and the Women's Development Bank. We also have the $50 million FinTech Fund, which is one of the things they have stolen from our ideas. This fund is supposed to...
But they didn't call it FinTech.
It is called FinTech Fund.
FinTech Fund.
It is called
You have a FinTech Fund.
$100 million.
And you have $100 million.
We have $50 million FinTech Fund.
We launched our
manifesto. We announced it. But our flag bearer spoke about it before you launched your manifesto. That is why I said a lot of the things that they are talking about are actually plagiarized.
That's not true.
It is very true. And if you want, I can send you the shots of the newspapers that carry those stories. We have the National Apprenticeship Program, which also seeks to empower young people with technical and vocational skills. When you come to rural Ghana, and my region is predominantly a rural region, so for us, those ambitious policy proposals, I'm not happy to say this, but we haven't matured to some of those big ticket proposals yet. We are still basic with coastline issues, farming issues, agriculture issues, and stuff. So for the Central Region, for the Central Region, the proposal that the NDC has made to us and to the good people of the Central Region is that we have these skills initiative programs that are supposed to encourage our young people to get employable technical and vocational skills that can make them self-employed.
Entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneurship, but it's not just being just entrepreneurs, because you can learn the skill and still go and support somebody's business.
Okay.
But for those who decide to go into the entrepreneurship, there's also a 10,000 Ejumaria program, which is supposed to help to facilitate 10,000 young people to be able to become self-employed and support their businesses. This national apprenticeship program, when you complete the program and you adopt the Ejumaria program, mind you, when we were in office and we started the Youth Enterprise Support Program, we had 50 million there to support young people who were also taking this seminar path. So this time around, we are equipping 10,000 young people with the same solutions to be able to build themselves up and become entrepreneurs and business people. We have the digital job program, which includes the 1 million coders, which the NPP has also stolen. And out of the 1 million coders program, it's an umbrella policy, but within that program, we have an actual coders program. We have software engineering.
You had
programming.
coders program in I think 2016 or 2020 manifesto.
Yes.
One of them.
Yes.
You had a coders.
But currently, being able to code is a technical skill that is mandatory to a lot of organizations.
So you always...
I sitting here personally, I've taught myself coding. I can actually build a whole website if I want to do it. I've done it before a couple of times from some ventures that I've been associated with. So I'm self-taught in coding. But there are other programs like Python that today, when you travel outside Ghana, it's mandatory that you must have these skill sets, especially in the area of digital technology. And there's so much going on online. These are basic skills that you need. So we want to equip young people with these skills. And this kind of, just when I was listening to Bawumia, and this is reference to digital, the digital jobs. I was listening to Bawumia, and he was making references to the likes of Apple and Google and Microsoft and the likes. Annie, not to digress, but I'm still within the point. Over the weekend, we laid to rest one of the pioneers of the IT software enterprise in Ghana, Herman Chinerehese. Herman, first time I met Herman was when I was business development manager at STC, the city STC. And I was faced with a very big challenge, how to improve occupancy of vehicles. We had a terrible fleet number. Then our passengers were just leaving us in droves, and things were very tough for the bus company. And then I was looking for a solution to get people on the buses. And as much as I wasn't very IT inclined at the time, I'm talking 2010, 2011, I wasn't very IT inclined like I am today, if comparatively. And out of the blue walks in Herman into my office with a proposal that they've developed a solution to try and beef up the numbers of STC. And then he gave a design, blueprint of how the whole thing would be like. So we signed an MOU, and that's how Herman became my friend. Today, as we speak, if you buy a ticket online for STC, that bus layout, that gives you an option which seats to choose from. The original architect of that design, where the concept came from, was Herman. Now, there's the reason why I've brought this into this conversation. I was listening to Bawumia yesterday, making references to the likes of Google, Microsoft, and Apple. And yet, right under Bawumia's nose, Herman's Soft Tribe has been persecuted since 2018 when the NPP came to office.
His company.
That Soft Tribe were the pioneers of the public service payroll, Aketua software. Herman, at the time, prior to during Kufuor's time, the biggest challenge, one of the biggest challenges we had was corruption on the payroll and ghost workers. And this gentleman sat down and developed the system for government payroll. There was one element that needed to be activated on the payroll system. That was the audit verification, right? Some people decided that, in fact, let's give this other contract to another person. So they brought in a company. I'm not going to mention the name of the company, but that person today is sitting in cabinet in Akufo-Addo's government. This individual then managed to take hold of the entire government payroll program. I'm sure now that you know where I'm headed, because you know who I'm talking about. This individual managed to take hold of the entire government service payroll software program. And today his company manages it. Herman, another initiative of Herman, was to build the software that was running Ghana Water Company. If you recall during the time of Mills Mahama, prior to we having the opportunity to pay our water bills by Momo and receiving text bills of what our balances were, they were always having to find us with paper water bills.
Yeah.
And so Ghana Water Company was having huge resource challenges because they were not finding people to pay their bills. So Herman came in with the solution that let's make it easier for everybody. Let's now make it easy for people to get their bill on their phones and pay by Momo. Simple technology. He built that and it was adopted into Ghana Water Company. This same individual in Akufo-Addo's cabinet,
Did it yield
who took
positive results?
fantastic results, who took the payroll program, also took the Ghana Water Billing Program. In fact, if you go into the news, this individual at that time was a national security. He marched national security operatives into the offices of Soft Tribe, and they took away program files. Unknown to them, those files were backed up in another country. So despite the fact that they took the physical files, the backup still remained. And those programs they used to create the software that they used in the Ghana Water Company currently. These issues are before court, and from 2017, when Bawumia was vice president to date, Herman was persecuted till Herman left Ghana. This individual called Herman, you should research more about him.
I know.
You know who he is. In fact, he's one of the most admired IT pioneers, not just of Ghana, but of Africa.
Right.
His name, he's acquired legendary status. His name is on the boardroom of Google. But Bawumia, in his usual rhetorics, today he sits there and speaks flamboyant speeches, says a lot of flowery things, but deep down, the reality is canker, worm, corruption. If he was the caliber of man that he's projecting himself to be as the flag bearer of NPP, hoping that he will become president of this country, and you, whatever it will take me to make sure you don't become president of Ghana, I will do for you not to become the president of Ghana, because you are too deceitful. You sat down and you make reference to Microsoft, Google, and Apple, but you couldn't protect Soft Tribe, which is an indigenous Ghanaian company who was being persecuted by somebody who was sitting right under your nose. You are a very hypocritical human being. But today, you go and stand on your podium and you rant. And you know what takes me worse about the NPP's campaign? On the podium, they've written, to lead is to solve. Take e-levy. Bawumia, when we were having conversations on e-levy, Bawumia was quiet. He claims, well, he wasn't in support of e-levy, but we never heard Bawumia oppose e-levy.
Well, but I mean, in the Peace FM studio, he indicated how he was not comfortable with
prior to adopting e-levy. But when the actual debate on e-levy came, Bawumia was silent.
Sometimes you have to be silent because you don't support.
Because you're a hypocrite.
Oh.
If you oppose something, you must step up and face it.
And speak out.
And speak out. He was quiet. And then today, when he saw how unpopular e-levy is with his government, he now turns around and says, I'll cancel e-levy. The same thing with betting tax. The EMT, of which he is the chair, proposed the betting tax. Today, he flip-flops, comes to the program and says, now I'm against betting tax. The man is just inconsistent. And if you are talking to me about qualities of a leader, where consistency is key, integrity is key. As a leader, I should be able to read you and know and get in my mind that, you know what, this is credibility standing there. And Bawumia lacks it. I don't care how much you powder him. I don't care how much you sugarcoat his words. I don't care which Kempaluta songs you even follow and rap him and force that is fake ass dancing with. It is still clear that the man lacks credibility.
Language.
Very well. He still lacks credibility. It's an adjective. And in this proposal, she made reference to this thing that the NPP is making mockery of. When I hear there are people on social media make mockery of that program, for somebody who comes from a rural region, predominantly, I feel very offended. A program that is encouraging people to go into poultry production. And the government is saying, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is saying, that we are going to support you with battery cages, we're going to support you with broilers, chicks, so that you can start
in Nkokonkete,
which is supposed to help us, when you look at the aggregate of the program, which is supposed to help us cut down on poultry importation. And these shallow-minded NPP people are sitting there making mockery of Nkokonkete. We want digitization. Digitization. You eat digitization.
But the people in your region,
for the people in my region, they are looking forward to the Nkokonkete program because then they are going to become poultry farmers. They are looking forward to the Yeridua program because you see, when you go to Gomua West, one thing that the NDC did for us in the central region, with the Ghana Irrigation Development Authority program, we have large tracts of land in Gomua West that have been developed with irrigation systems already in place. And we are looking forward to the program so that we can grow vegetables and come and feed you people in Accra. Today, when you go to Gomua East, which is a sister constituency to Gomua West, the Nigerians have converted 40 acres of our land into break bulk for Niger onions. We in Central Region are looking forward for the program to start so that we can take over that market and produce the onions and get the Nigerians out of Gomua East. We'll start selling you Gomua West Central Region onions, tomatoes, carrots, other vegetables, cabbage, and the rest. And now let me also land on this. In the job initiatives of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and since I represent Central Region, we're also going to have a program, the Ghana Salt Development Authority, that is going to work on the salt mining fields of Elmina Salt Pond and build the potential and the capacity of all constituencies along the coastline so that we can expand on the production of salt mining in Central Region. That is one program that I, Gabriela, personally, I'm really looking forward to, because in 2025, I'm going to start my program to manufacture salt in Central Region. And all these initiatives are going to create jobs. Then let me land on Bawumia again, and the NPP, and the deception of the NPP. And if from 2017 to 2024, this NPP government has been touting year of roads, year of roads, year of roads. When you come to Central Region, all our roads are deplorable. When you start from Kaswa, where the interchange ended, all the way to Winneba, Akufo-Addo and Bawumia have destroyed our road. They gave that short road to two contractors to complete a project before December. Today, when you go on that road, they have rather left us with 3 dead pits along that stretch, one at Big Apple, one at Breku, and one at Akoti. The manholes they have created, the crevices they have created on that highway, I have complained severally. Ghana Road Safety Commission went there to go and look at the site. I was expecting them to advise government to detour the road at Big Apple behind the community of Big Apple and let it meet at Akoti, because you can use a grader to create new routes.
Close to the Konfi areas.
The Konfi is after Mankesim.
Okay.
I'm talking about Kaswa to Winneba.
Okay.
The new road construction they are doing.
And
the ECOWAS road.
How far with the what's it called, the blasting?
After the last injury, they've not done it again.
With the minister and other officials came there, right, after the people were killed.
And you see, that was the third time I had sounded alarm on what was happening there. And that was why I was insistent that they must secure that whole area, barricade that whole area.
Where the blasting happens.
Where the blasting happens. And then create 2 detours. For those who are going from Accra to Winneba, they should go behind Big Apple. For those who are coming from Winneba to Accra, they should also go behind on the other side and leave this perimeter closed. The national director, who is the operations director of this construction company, says that that blasting site is a tourist attraction. So people come and alight. It's a tourist attraction. People haven't seen blasting before, so they come and stand there and observe. He said it already. He was said it on your program. Original TV interviewed him.
You said on Original?
Yes.
That is a tourist attraction?
Yes, it's a tourist attraction.
The blasting site?
Yes, that the people haven't seen anything like that before. So they alight, the trotters alight at the entrance of the construction area.
They watch the blasting?
They watch the blasting. Then they walk across the construction area to the other side of the road, take another vehicle, and then they continue where that heavy traffic is built. And so what happened the last time? Over 4 people died, many injured.
I'm told he's also the same spokesperson for the company.
He's the operations manager for the construction company. And so anytime there's an injury, he does nothing. The last time they went and caused flooding at Akoti in Gomwe East. They went and diverted the river. And the whole road got flooded. The whole highway got flooded for like 3 hours. And you see, shallow-minded Ghanaians, they think everybody is stupid. Then they come and give us some excuse that the river god is angry. You diverted the water and then you come and tell us the river god is angry. So they went to portion up to appease the river god. And then he was all over the place now shouting, we need mattresses, we need buckets, we need this, we need this. I sat on TV, I watched him quietly, and I kept getting more and more infuriated with this NPP government. And I was like, what crime have we done? What sin crime did we commit to get here? And I'm not even done with our roads. From Winneba to Agona Shredro, you have Afeno Markin as majority leader. You have Nane Eya as Deputy Minister for Interior at Gomwa Central MP. You have Cynthia Morrison, who is the former Minister for Gender. All these 3 are back-to-back constituencies next to each other. All of them holding position. Go and see the state of the road. Prior to NPP, we had a few potholes, but you classified that road as maybe second class. Now, they use grader, and that's how they deceived Central Region. They go and use grader to grade the whole thing. Come and tell us they are coming to construct the road. And up to date, after 4 years, nothing.
Oh, they've graded after 4, it's been 4 years now since grading.
Okay. Go from Himanoa Denchira to Upper Denchira East. If you go to Etimakwa Praso, that straight road, you see the number of articulated tracks that have toppled over. The same death trap they have created on the Winneba Highway. I don't know what kind of road construction engineering you people do that you have to dig deep pits. I'm not talking like 5 feet pit. I'm talking like 10-meter pits next to the road. And if you don't know that road at night and you just go on it, Annie, if you are not careful, you go and land in the pit. And when it's only one vehicle that can ply that thing at a time. When it rains, these are not probably more trouble roads. These are clay roads. When it rains, the road becomes slippery and immotorable. And then people tell us, year of roads. Where are the roads? You are a very deceitful government. In fact, you are the most deceitful government, the most corrupt government this country has ever experienced. You can take the rest of the time. I'm done.
Okay, so I just did a little research on soft strike that you mentioned, since we're talking about. So this was 2019. This is what Ghana Web reported. It says that the Ghana Water Company Limited has said it is not this was when Ghana Water Company was fighting, I think, the rumor and the allegations. So it says it's not anti-Ghanaian business following a tussle with a local software developer, Softstrike. Now, the managing director of Ghana GWCL, Dr. Clifford Brymer, told journalists on Thursday, 28th of November 2019, at a press conference in Accra, that nobody can say Ghana Water Company is anti-Ghanaian business. According to him, after an admonishing by the president, this is a Ghanaian company that we can help work together, and whatever challenges there are, we should be able to resolve them. They have ensured a positive working relationship with software developer. Mr. Brymer further revealed that he and the new GWCL board took office. They decided to extend the termination period in the contract with Softstrike. It was 3 months, but for the love of developing Ghanaian companies, we brought it to 6 months. Okay. Now, Dr. Brymer was responding to a barrage of accusations leveled against GWCL after armed officials, raided the offices of the, so that's what you mentioned, of the Softstrike, and seized electronic gadgets of the firm and its staff. But why did we do that? We have a contract with the company. We want to terminate the contract. What is it with barging into their offices and seizing their equipment?
Ask Brian Champo and Akufo-Addo and Bawumia why Herman was persecuted out of Ghana. Okay. And the sad part about the Herman story is that despite his ingenuity to help us solve Ghana's problems, You persecuted him to the point that Herman could not stay in Ghana and had to go and take residence in Sierra Leone just to protect himself. This is a very wicked administration. And
Did you speak with him personally? Since you had a relationship with him, did you speak with him personally?
Anytime he comes to Ghana, and I'm in Accra, he and I meet up. Sometimes he'll call me, "Are you in Accra? I just came. Let's go and eat Gai Kinki." So go to the mountains to go eat Gai Kinki. Our last meeting, and I thank God for this meeting, because if I had known then that would be my last meeting with Herman, I probably would have opened up a lot and had much more deeper conversations with him. I think it was around August thereabouts when he came, and he was like, "Hey, are you in town?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "Let's go and try, first time trying Sierra Leone fufu. It tastes like starch with chicken feet, apparently Sierra Leonean delicacy."
Yeah, chicken feet.
So we went to a Sierra Leonean restaurant at Labadi, and we're having a conversation. And he's one person that I'm able to have very deep conversations about Ghana. But I was asking him, "Do you think that there's a chance for us to redeem this country?" And he just looked at me quietly and he said, "Gabriela, my generation has failed. Your generation can't afford to give up." And when I was having that conversation with him, I was carrying a lot of emotional pain from certain events in my own life. And I was at a point where I was thinking to myself, it's time to just give up on Ghana, because I'm not seeing the way clear for this nation with the kind of leadership that we have in this country. And why so many voices that should be able to speak up have all been cowed or afraid to speak up. So when I was having that conversation with him, and when we ended the day, we went to his house, and my last debate with him, he was having a debate with the daughter-in-law on Christianity and atheism. He was an atheist. Everybody around him knew that he doesn't believe in God. I didn't take any offense to it, because everybody is free to believe in what they want to believe. The daughter-in-law is a bishop. What's the name? The half-caste one. Dece Milson's daughter. So it was a very interesting conversation between, does God exist or does God not exist, watching the two of them.
Okay.
And I was just quietly observing. But he was a fantastic man. And anytime I remember the Herman story, I look at this country and I tell myself, if our generation doesn't step up and hold these leaders accountable and cause a change in this administration from what has been plagued us over the last 7-8 years, and we don't call for a reset, this thing cannot continue.
Okay.
It cannot be allowed to continue.
Okay.
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 So,
let me just.
Honey, so much of my time has been taken. So let me just.
How?
We have like 9 minutes to go, and I've not been able to respond to, because when you were about to engage me, a story about somebody being atheist came up.
That is not your time.
So do I get extra time?
You will.
Okay.
Hold on. So Obama says that I can understand the frustration, uneasiness, and confusion Gabriela is exhibiting this morning. She's clearly dazed by the solid job creation by Dr. Bawumia, which the youth have bought into. She can engage in all the insult jobs, mudslinging, and innuendos. But that won't make Muhammad president again. He is a former president, and so shall he remain forever. Dr. Bawumia is a visionary leader who doesn't call his opponents. I can't repeat such words. He is destined to lead Ghana, and it shall come to pass on December 7th.
The same president,
Obama.
The same presidential aspirant, vice president, presidential aspirant, who is busily tasked calling for a debate.
Okay.
It's not even opposition leader calling for debate.
Okay.
So the NPP, a vice president / flag bearer is calling for debate.
Allow me. Now don't take my viewers' time. The NPP communicator says that 12,000 kilometers of roads was constructed. Really, please tell her that the distance from Accra to China is 10,900 kilometers. UK and US are even less. Credibility in politics is very important. Annie, good morning. The creation of 2.6 million jobs is a charade. The statistics on jobs does not support it. Ghana is currently has an unemployment rate of 14%, despite claims by the government that it has created those non-existent jobs. In any case, NAPCO was under the direct supervision of office of the president, now flag bearer of the NPP. The most important question is we should ask is, how did they end? David Edu sent that in. Good morning, Annie. Please tell Dr. Ekia Mwako, please don't refer to them as a lady, and she's called Dr. Ikuya Mwako, okay? Or to always fact check the inconsistency by the Finance Minister and Labour Minister on employment statistics. Please find attached the fact check script and make reference from SNIT. Okay, and you sent me the SNIT document. Let me just move on. Musa Batwa says that Afrobarometer says barometer survey has spoken truly reflections of Ghanaians, the feelings of Ghanaians, and I will vote Jomama. Okay, based on the prudent 24-hour economy policy, you say. Be ready for security challenges. That one, you can't hide away from it. Annie, Dr. Sampiali says that Annie, ask her the total number of workers on the government payroll now. Okay, I'm sure she will respond to it later. Halidu says that kindly read this message to the NPP, and that is, oh, Halidu, I'm sorry. Gabby Ochedako says that NDC is campaigning on infrastructure, and this is what the University of Ghana Dawn says about it. The economy is number 1, the economy is number 2, the economy is number 3, but we have a better economy. All other sectors perform well. Building a hospital is very good, is a very good thing to do, but it is not how it is done. If you have existing hospitals and you lack doctors and your doctors are going on strike, you do not have enough medicines, don't go and build another hospital. You have to ensure the existing ones function properly. This is the detail President Mahama fails to give when touting his achievements in infrastructure. If government is about contracting loans and investing them in infrastructure, then Ikuya Donko can do that. And this was by Gabby in 2016. Sorry. Prosper says that, Annie, good morning. Ask Ikuya to pick any industry and practically apply the Buy Ghana First ideology. Just an example. Good morning, Annie. No amount of propaganda, grammar, juicy promises will save them this time round. It's unarguably clear that they have failed Ghanaians disastrously, and the only option is to bring back the tried and tested Mahama to rescue Ghanaians from the hands of nepotistic, corrupt nation wreckers, you say. Annie, good morning. The Electoral Commission should know that we are having one Ghana, and they should do anything, and should they do anything negative in the process leading to December election? Your message is incomplete. Al-Hajj Haruna, you sent that in. Gaji, good morning. He says the whole world is watching you. Please take it easy on Dr. Ikuya Mwako. Gaji, good morning. I haven't done anything. I think I've taken it as easy as possible.
What I'm saying.
Yes, the viewers also have some opportunity, don't they? Okay. Let me pick. Okay, I think I'll give you 1 minute each. I want us to touch on EC before we round up. 1 minute
each again.
1 minute.
There's so much that I want to say. Because there was so
I'm not even going to give her a chance to rebut.
So much was said that needs to be rebutted. But yes, let me just quickly go through everything. Youth apprenticeship program, which they are touting. I met a young lady, Sandra, recently. She was telling me she got a call from the NDC call center, and they were talking to her about this. Very good thing is she's already a beneficiary of YEA's program that does that, because we are already running that program currently. It is clear that the NDC is not ready for government. They just come and sit. She had over, I think, about 20 minutes. I was trying to check. She used all of it to make unfounded allegations and run commentary on things, because I took time to go and read the thing about soft tribe. If we get into it, we won't finish now. But obviously, that's an allegation. That doesn't bring jobs to the people of Ghana. It's
soft tribe?
Yes.
What's the allegation about?
She went on talking about, for so long, about soft tribe, instead of telling the people of Ghana what they plan to come and do, and talked about...
No, Ikuya, I won't let you go with what you're saying. What did she say about soft tribe?
That Ghanaians, Dr. Bawumia, and people in government try to bring down an indigenous company. How is that? It's an unfounded allegation.
How is it unfounded?
Because...
No, Ghana had a contract with soft tribe, didn't we?
Yes. And then there were problems.
Wait, hold on. Did we terminate the contract?
See, the thing you were... No. I can't answer that question directly.
Did we terminate the contract?
Allow me to respond
No,
to
you cannot make such allegations and let it go. And I'll let you go.
No, she was making allegations.
No, she didn't make allegations. She stated a fact that we terminated the contract with soft tribe.
What is wrong with terminating the contract?
Exactly.
And how does Dr. Bawumia come into that?
Hold on. she was making reference to the fact that Dr. Bawumia was making references to foreign IT companies and left out an IT company in Ghana that gave us a contract and a software that assisted Ghana to rake in more revenues and gave the contract to somebody like maybe
associated with
government. What was Soft Strike's offense? Today the matter is in court, but what was his offense that made us terminate the contract? It was not.
We haven't gone into what
not. Don't use words.
Let's look about the it was the persecution.
Let's look at what.
The key word there was persecution.
She said persecution. You can't find. How would you justify the allegation of persecution?
Contract was terminated. Eventually.
The Ghana Water Company. You started reading it. You didn't read the whole thing. They have a solid reason for doing that. There's even a quote here where the boss of Ghana Water Company says, according to him, Ghanaians wouldn't take it lightly on him should this case die off, adding that it would effortlessly secure its clients' data and continue. Monies were paid. Work wasn't done, and it will take a lot of time. What money was paid and what work was done? You don't even understand how the system was done. You assume that the contract was paid for upwards like this. No, that wasn't that kind of project.
Who took the case to court?
252
Herman took the case to court.
So Herman took the case to court. So let's say not Herman, but Soft Strike took the case to court. Okay.
Yes, so I don't know how allegations are being made. That everybody has a counter. The government of Ghana Water has a response to it. You can't pick everybody in the industry knows. And everybody so it is disinformation.
Everybody in the business community knows how
instead of you tell the people of Ghana
wicked your government
is. That is clear. That is something that has become characteristic of the NDC, because what they want to hear is what you are going to do for them, not about something that is in dispute. Because you cannot sit here and be sure that Soft Tribe was on the right on that case.
One thing is clear.
It's not strange, because even their flag bearer was trying to blame raid on Dr. Bawumia. We are asking what you want to do. Ladies and gentlemen,
so
it will be terrible for us to reward
the
mediocrity of NDC and take for the attempts to take us for granted. You talked about, you were trying to justify Nkukobo Nkiti. We do a lot of things. The money, the support we've provided to poultry organizations like Darko Farms and Co. are there. A lot of people know it. What we are saying is that in 2024,
how can we still have such a large import bill?
Industrial revolution of the world is going on, when everybody is thinking digital, when the market cap of Apple and whatnot is overtaking the economy of about 5 countries put together, that the direction that the country needs to go is that way. So
but you are killing the ones who are doing it.
As somebody who wants to be president, it is laughable for that to be. You understand? These are things that will come up naturally. These are things that you do. But that is
laughable for him to think of poultry.
No, for that to be your main. Do you understand? For that to be one of the things you are championing.
Why?
It's not. See, the fact helping indigenous people or people in rural areas to be able to do their jobs is not something the NPP is not doing. That's what I want to make clear.
So is this something that is wrong for another party to do?
There's nothing wrong. But we are hoping to see something that will actually influence the overall economy of the country on a larger scale, because we are in 2024.
So tell us something that you have initiated that is able to solve the Ghanaian economy on a larger scale. 7 years, that's nothing.
We look at the market cap and that's what Dr. Bawumia was saying. That's where she brought that thing in. That we are talking about futuristic thinking that is going to be able to allow
currently what you have.
On the
Nothing.
International market. But I'm not surprised, because when we were bringing zipline drone delivery, that has saved the lives of countless people in rural areas.
Do you know the history of zipline drones?
The NDC told us that it was going to take pictures of naked women, so we should stop. So I'm not surprised at their very limited worldview on things. And this morning, viewers and especially young people, we should take this election very, very seriously, because you come and sit here and a lot of just allegations, nothing proven. But at least on your side, your flag bearer is tainted with the biggest international allegation of corruption that has ever befallen this country. That somebody took about 4 million euros to influence him, and the company that was surcharged in this problem, Airbus, has paid the fine. So what that means is that
was it not your special prosecutor who cleared him?
No.
Up to date, we all saw Akufo-Addo accepting ban envelope 2020 election. We saw in Bawumia's office somebody's rights disappear in the vice president's office.
use that word.
Rice disappeared. Somebody's rice disappeared in the vice president's office.
He didn't call Martinami.
What did he say?
He didn't call
said the thing. The
He did not call Martinami.
Okay, what did he say? That was the headline. What
in
what
your government, people actually sell seats in the presidency for 20,000 cities.
Basically, what he was trying to do was dispute.
Your whole government is full of corruption.
Government official number one. Now it comes out by another special prosecutor that you are government number one, government official number one. Truly, somebody received the bribe to influence you. Truly,
special prosecutor cleared him. He is not government official number one. He was not found corrupt.
He said he
was not found corrupt.
And to me,
so all these things you are saying.
Point of what we are talking about, to come and run your campaign on corruption.
But you're the one that raised it.
Your vice president is on the record as taking rice.
Very, very unsavory names.
Right.
Of going to the point of telling the people of Ghana what you plan to do. And for somebody who is a rep of somebody that has been tainted by such a big thing, I don't expect you to be calling somebody names without any proof of those allegations. Has Dr. Bawumia been investigated by anybody? By any foreign government? The Serious Fraud Office of the UK, the European, one of the European investigative body, plus America investigated John. Please, let's
okay. You have no idea what they have on your government.
Chungwafo says that. Good morning, Annie. Please tell Ikia Mako that. Okay, to be respectful of the now departed, Herman Chinwe Hesse was a great man whose ingenuity reached all of us. One way or the other. Even Google headquarters have named a conference center after him.
Yes.
I dare say most of your audience would rather celebrate him than listen to her. Well, I think they celebrate him. It was just a reference made to him. Okay, so that's Chinwe Hesse on the screen.
Yes, nobody has said anything about him. That's not even what we came here to discuss today.
Fantastic man.
Okay. It was just reference made to him, but Evans. So Evans says that is it that doctor really believes that the vehicles were done as the instance of Dr. Bawumia at a mere running mate? Wow. Do you know that in 2012 elections, one of Dr. Bawumia's statement he made was that we have two Ghana. We have two Ghana, a Ghana that the president and his family and friends enjoys, and the Ghana that majority of Ghanaians are suffering. At the time, Mr. President Mahama had only one of his niece appointed in the government. Today, how many do we have? How many Ghanaians are suffering and how many family and friends are appointed do we have in this government today? So now we have three Ghana. We have three Ghana, but my time is up, so I will not be able to.
I want my 1 minute to do a correction.
Gabby.
Oh, just 1 minute.
I beg you.
She was asking what did the NDC do. I don't really like going into the past. So let's address this issue.
Have to say something for 1 minute.
In 2012, we had 23,204 police officers. 2014, within 2 years, we had increased that number to 32,117. I don't have the data when we left office. Now, we gave 1,424 vehicles over a 5-year period to the Ghana Police Service.
Yeah, I would like
we
to
gave them.
of that.
We created the Marine Police and gave them speedboats to be able to patrol Ghana's waters. We gave bulletproof vests. We gave riot control gear and modern mobile clinic vans to the Ghana Police Service.
This is laughable.
There's nothing laughable with 1,400 vehicles compared to your 3 helicopters who there was a raid and they could not move anywhere. So all you use them to do, all you used to do is to go and take pictures. And let me also say that the CCTV camera project is an initiative of the NDC administration under the time of Gov't and Baba Kamara. It was called the Alpha Project. That was when the project started. Madam, please, we didn't pay for anything. And at the time we were leaving,
everybody knows these cameras were brought by us.
Cameras installed. It is
everybody.
You know how to Google everything.
So the electoral commission.
Okay, allow me. You don't know the fact of the matter. Go and read on Google.
You both
go and read.
Oh, okay. Now you are shouting. Okay. Now the Electoral Commission has announced that that it will review the decision to suspend the printing of ballot papers for the 2024 presidential election next week, which is this week. Now the suspension followed the death of Madame Ekuadonko, the flag bearer of the Ghana Freedom Party, on October 28th. The Commission also granted the GFP 10 days to replace its flag bearer in accordance with Article 50. Clause 4 of the 1990 Constitution, a media briefing, Okay, so that's it. So this week we'll be expecting also more from the Electoral Commission. We also know that we've lost an MP in Parliament over the weekend. May so rest in peace. So we will be, talking more about some of the development that will come as the Speaker is also calling back Parliament this week. We'll see how the developments will go and continue the discussion throughout the week when Dr. Randy Abbey also comes to take a seat. Ladies, thank you so much for making time with me and viewers as well. Thank you for watching. We're back in the afternoon with the news. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon.
Thank you for staying tuned. PENDREAM TV really appreciate your time. Please, if you have not yet subscribed as a new member, please do so for us. Hit the notification bell, turn it to all posts so that you'll be notified on anything that will hit the channel any moment, anytime. Thank you once again. PENDREAM TV really cherish you. Thank you.
I'm not PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.